So Rahul set the stage by talking about automation, intelligent automation, robotics process automation, as well as digitization quite a lot. He was talking about neo-banks, peer-to-peer banks, and the way things are coming together and the way our topic is right now, bridging the gap between front office and back office. And in fact, I heard a very recent thing, even in the car rental, which would probably be a challenge for the companies like Hertz and Avis of this world also, where even people like you and me, they are getting into a platform and I can rent a car to Mitul, Mitul wants it, Mitul can rent a car to me, where we don't even need that gap between front office and back office to really approach, go to the Hertz or Avis of this or budget of this world and get a car rented. So that is how transformation is taking place, which ultimately when even Sanjeet spoke about quite a lot of artificial intelligence, then Johar spoke about risk and mitigation, but what is it giving? What is the output? So if we really look deeper into it, it is basically bridging the gap between front office and back office and making more focus on customer centricity. So customer is the king. Customer is what everything wants, and I'm sure later on Neeraj will also speak about it, where we are finding that more closer we bring business to a customer and absolutely removing that gap between the back office and front office is where the growth is happening. If we look at some of the analyst data, and customer centricity is the key for most of the CXO today, whether we talk about Americas, whether we talk about EMEA, whether we talk about Latin America. And if we look at the top 4 areas of focus for each and every CXO is operational excellence, digitization, digital initiative, and customer experience and customer centricity. So even if we see it is 4th in order, but everything else on the digital initiatives, operational excellence is what is driving is customer centricity, customer experience. And if we look at how even, and these are something which is published by analysts like Gartners of this world, how back office activities and front office activities are merging together. They're coming closer and closer with the help of digitization, not only to reduce cost in customer engagement, but bringing customer more closer to your business, giving them a real-time update, whether it is a customer, anything which is facing, be it your supplier, be it your customer, be it any outside world facing your business. That is what I call front office, bringing it more closer and closer to the business so that when you approach for any bank account, for credit card, for even invoice or for manufacturing goods, no one is interested in knowing, okay, thanks for getting in touch with us. We'll let you know what is happening on your request in the next 48 hours. Answer, they need it now. The transparency, visibility in the complete process, they need it now. And how can we do it? We can do it by whatever Rahul spoke about earlier, whatever Sanjeet spoke about earlier, whatever even Johar mentioned about risk and customer centricity and bringing more digitization towards customer centricity. So that is what is changing the complete scenario today, and that gap is minimizing, and we can see in all the reports. Now, if we look at as predicted by global analysts, by 2022, automation will eliminate 40% of all non-value-added work. All non-value-added tasks, be it finance operation, be it banking, insurance, claims, or any operations at all, the back office to front office, 40% of the non-value-added tasks will get eliminated by 2022. By 2020, AI, artificial intelligence, will become embedded key differentiator. It will become a key differentiating factor for any one of us who is going to the market, approaching customer, how it benefits and how AI-enabled process are getting more success rather than just a manual verification, validation. We saw people were talking about it earlier as well. On the technology side, today, if we look at the total landscape, RPA is ruling the world with almost 55 to 60%, and AI, or I would say basic artificial intelligence, is only 25 to 30%. And blockchain, even Zohar touched about blockchain. Yeah, it is happening, but how much extent it is getting successful, what are the use cases, still people are working on it. And that is happening now. But if we talk about midterm, from 2 to 3 year horizon, AI is going to take over RPA. I'm not saying take over in the sense because RPA would have been completed. RPA journey would have seen the saturation point till that point of a time. So AI is what will get more and more importance because that is where people like Neeraj, CFOs, and all CXOs would like to see how decision making, how suggestions are coming from artificial intelligence without wasting a single minute or a single second. And that is how, even if we see what are the use cases, Sanjit talk about the complete flow of auto classification of the invoices, be it receivable, be it payable, also financial month-end closing for record to report process, or even improving collections and prediction. Because I and Neeraj were talking about earlier, it is not about not paying suppliers on time. It is about predicting the right cash flow, so that they really maintain the right balance, utilize the working capital judiciously. So that is where technology is driving the complete back office operation, bringing it closer to front office. If we look at, and what I'm presenting is data and lots of data, guys. So you will have the slides. You can all have the slides later after we are through the session today. Paystream advisors, as per them, the moment any organization is embarking on the journey of transformation, even in P2P, they see 82% upstream noticeable improvement in the processes. So that is where 82%, and if I look at, and although it will not be in the slides, but if we look at the bottom line improvement in the entire P2P, just P2P process, 35 to 40% of direct improvement, direct hitting your bottom line, bringing the positive improvement on the bottom line. How do we really measure it? And that's where I'm talking about data. And some of it, a reflection of it, you will see when Neeraj is talking about his experience of P2P transformation. That what is the order cycle time? What are the questions each one of you should ask in your operations when you are working on a CFO back office operation? What is the invoice cycle time? What is the compliance management? And how best in class? And these are the data which are collated through analyst firms like APQC, Hackett's, and all specialists in this field. What is the PO-based invoices? How many are non-PO based? Are only utility invoices non-PO, or people are doing maverick buying and they don't even know, they're not in a habit of issuing a PO. They just go and buy. So where is the catalog management? Where is the control which is happening through only buying through a PO-based or doing a catalog and category management? What is the percentage of our indirect spend through our e-catalog? Are we just going and spending on a stationery, housekeeping, travel without even maintaining a catalog? Or we are really focusing on using the data which is available to us for enabling the process through artificial intelligence and RPA? What is the percentage of indirect requisition? What is the spend on per invoice? What is the spend? And look at the range. Best in class today are able to do within $2, less than $2 per invoice, whereas industry average is still $10. So every $8 saved per invoice, which Neeraj will talk about, how much you can add to the bottom line. I'm just talking of one indicator here. On the other KPIs, productivity. What is the productivity of every FTE or for $1 billion for revenue? What is the cycle time for the receipt of an invoice to payment is transmitted? Look at the data yourself, 3.3 days, best in class versus 14.4 days, and this is the average. So I'm not even going into the detail of a category of an invoice, whether it is logistics, factory, project, non-project, PO, non-PO, but this is the average data. How many orders per FTE? Best in class top performer, 14,000 order versus just 3,700 by industry average. How many receipts per FTE? How many invoices per productivity figure? 22,126 invoices for best in class versus 9,000, just 9,000 by industry average. Now, this is, I know, a lot of data over here, so you don't have to make notes. You will get the slides. I have tried to categorize between P2P, O2C, and R2R. What are the KPIs which you can really yourself see and then compare it with the best in class to really, because the point which Sanjit was making, is it worth embarking on the journey of artificial intelligence? It is worth implementing RPA. These are the KPIs and the real data which you would have on your current operation, which will help you make a decision. Is it worth going for an AI-based solution? Is it worth going for a RPA? Is it worth going for a automation or digitization? Because this is what will bridge the gap between front office and back office. Because today, if I'm not able to answer my supplier who has submitted invoice maybe 30 days back when I will get paid, then I'm not doing justice to him. I'm not justice to his supplier satisfaction as well as his commitment to my organization, which I'm saying as a manufacturing organization. So that is where people, and Neeraj will talk about it, that is where we have partnered together to really enhance that supplier satisfaction by the way of a transparency, by way of a visibility, by of a fast tracking the payment, because I don't think any organization wants to hold a supplier payment, but do they really know? Do they really know the answers what they can give? Answer is not. They have to go back to the back office. They have to find out, do a lot of manual work, get information. Kundeep is looking at me and smiling. Get the information when they will get paid, but that's the reality. So these are KPIs which helps us decide, same on the O2C side, what is the order fulfillment ratio, how many order cycle we are running, how much on the timely delivery of our order as per commitment is made to the customer. All this will help you analyze that whether you should go on that journey. Maybe your current state is as good as the best in class, what I had in the previous slide I have shown. If that is the case, no. But if not, then you have to think that yes, really you want to go and embark and spend. And the ROI is what all three presenters earlier were talking about. ROI may not always be the cash ROI. ROI may not always be the dollars saved or the dollar growth which you would have in the revenue term. It is also in terms of qualitative benefits. It is also in terms of what qualitative improvements you are bringing in the relationship with the front office because of your back office optimization, workforce optimization, process optimization. Similarly, on the bank, today whatever adoption if we see in the banking industry is almost 37% higher from the AI and the RPA perspective in comparison to what it was a few years back. By 2020, the prediction from the analyst, again Gartner, is that 20% of the back office workforce will be eliminated and they will move on to the front office, because their routine job would be done by AI and the robotics process automation. AI tools are increasingly showing very efficient way of working, whether it's your KYC, whether it's a fraud, whether it is a prediction. And we all know, and quite a lot of you are working with us also in that particular way, you are seeing the kind of a productivity you are finding. If we look at the top 3 initiatives for financial institutions, it is again, and this is a CIO survey, it is a digital initiatives, revenue growth, as well as customer experience. Again, the same what we saw earlier for manufacturing sector. Top 3 priorities, again, digitization, adoption of new technologies, and business process automation.